Hey, Wemberg World Entertainment, and of course the DCU is still waiting to reveal its official Batman. But James Gunn has been asked what's the most requested thing he gets asked regarding Batman, in terms of what do people want from the character. And he's given his answer, and it's interesting because a couple of the things are something you would expect, and one of the things wasn't really what you would expect. But what do you think it is? Do you think, is it who the actor would be? Do you think it would be what time setting it would be? No, it's actually more about the suit. And not just the suit, but the eyes. Because that is one thing that a lot of people have been asking for a long time. But apparently, it's not actually the top question he gets asked. So let's have a look at this, because I do find this interesting. So, Superman director and DC Studio co-CEO James Gunn has revealed what fans tend to request most for the DCU's Batman, who is still expected to debut in the Brave and the Bold movie. Now, you notice that it's fans requesting to have this. So Gunn was asked if the most requested thing for the new Dark Knight was the white eyes. So that's the lenses that obscure the eyes when wearing the cowl, which you see in the animated series and of course in the games. So he got asked that on social media and responded that it's actually the blue and grey costume, then the yellow around the bat, and then the white eyes. So they want the classic suit. That is what the fans are asking for. The irony though that they want the grey and blue suit and then the yellow. By the way, the yellow around the bat, if anyone's like, what exactly is that? It's the logo on the chest. They want the yellow around the bat symbol, and then the white eye. All of that pretty much goes hand in hand, but it's the fact that he gets asked about the suit color more than anything. So he said this: the most requested thing would be the blue and grey, then the yellow around the bat, and then the white eyes. But all of those things I find less important than the character himself, the writing, and the person who plays him. Now, that's an interesting response. I find it more important about the character himself and the writing and the person who plays it. Yes, that is something that is incredibly important. But if you get the perfect casting and the perfect writing for it, which, let's be honest, probably won't come from James Gunn, and he is the one working on the Batman for this thing. The suit. If you put him in an absolute garbage suit, you're going to have that thing of, wow, we got a fantastic Batman, but damn did we miss out on having a fantastic Batman in a fantastic suit. So it's saying here, we've seen quite a few different Batsuits on the big screen over the years, and while some have taken inspiration from Batman's classic look, Ben Affleck's DCEU Dark Knight arguably came closest to the design, if not the colour scheme, from the comics. We haven't seen the blue and grey costume in live action since the Adam West TV series back in the 60s. That's not quite accurate, even though it did have this kind of endoskeleton thing over it. We did actually see the grey and blue suit on Ben Affleck in The Flash. The opening of The Flash, when he comes out on that bicycle, he is in the grey and blue suit. It's just that it has that weird mechanical crap over it, which that's unfortunate that thing was over it. It would have been so much better if that wasn't there. But we had seen it, and of course also in The Flash, even though we don't see it on him, when Michael Keaton as obviously Bruce Wayne walked into the room with all the Batsuits in it, we do see a blue and grey suit there as well. So is there a chance the DCU's new Caped Crusader will don the blue and grey? Gunn was asked about the costume during an interview with CBR earlier this year, and while he did seem open to the idea, it doesn't sound like the new Batsuit is something he's given much consideration to yet, which isn't exactly surprising when they still haven't even cast the role or even written the actual story. We'd say Gunn is a big enough fan to at least give the blue and grey suit some thought, And there's a decent chance he will move away from the armoured, militarized look of some previous costumes at the very least. So, yeah, you are kind of wondering, like, what is the direction? Because, again, as much as you want to focus on who the character is, which makes all the sense in the world, you also do have to take into account that the suit does also make the character. You can't argue that. Once the cowl goes on, that's it. Like I've said it before, when Ben Affleck got cast, I remember sitting there and saying to myself, like, you know what? I can see him being a great Bruce Wayne, but what happens when the cowl goes on? Can he embrace and embody that part of the character? And he did. He nailed it. And of course, the suit was a fantastic suit. I actually have the 1 in 6 Ben Affleck grey and black suit Batman myself. So the look of the suit does play a big role. And of course, so does the white eyes. Now, again, a lot of people have asked for the white eyes for a long time. Now, there's obvious reasons why a lot of them wouldn't go for. The closest you did get to seeing it twice, really, was in Batman Forever, when he's giving the Riddler the riddle for, you know, what am I? You're a bat. The little sonar things that drop down. That was the closest to it you saw in that type of version. And then, of course, in The Dark Knight, with the sonar suit, when the eyes come down for him to have the sonar vision. That was the closest you got. But they were for the sonar, where the other suits in the comics and stuff, it was just part of the cowl, that the eyes would be white. So it is an interesting, but you can understand why they don't always do it for the movies, because the actors probably want you to see their eyes, because, you know, kind of the emotion comes from the eyes, especially if behind the cowl. Like, how many shots with Michael Keaton was him in the suit stepping forward and the light would just shine across his eyes and no other part of his face and stuff. So that makes sense as to why they didn't always do it. But we are at a point now where we know who these people are being put into the suits. Their performances can come elsewhere. Put the white eyes on it. Try it. See what happens. They did it for Wolverine in Deadpool and Wolverine, and people loved it. So why not do it? The idea that he's not concerned about the suit yet, yeah, again, that makes sense. You do want to work more on the story and who the character is and stuff. But at the end of the day, once again, the Batsuit is a key component to who that character is. Because as people always say, the disguise isn't the Batsuit, Bruce Wayne is the disguise. So the Batsuit is probably more important than anything. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, if he's even still around and this whole thing is still around by the time they actually move forward with their version of Batman. But what do you guys think? What kind of suit would you like to see? Would you like to see the red and blue suit with the yellow symbol on the chest and the white eyes? Do let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.